Actually, I mean, do you guys know about how Sam Cooke died?
No, how did he die? Old and happy?
No. No. Sam Cooke died on December 10th, 1964. It might have actually been December 11th in the wee hours of the morning.
How old was
he?
He was 33 when he died.
33.
He already had a pretty established recording career at this point. This is 64, and this is a famous man.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Cooke is famous. This is a guy. He's at, he's in L.A. He's in the happening spots. He's wearing the really flashy suits. Everyone knows who this guy is. Right?
Yeah, he's hanging out with like a Muhammad Ali and Lou
Nat
Rawls
King
all the
Cole
time. Nat
and
King
stuff.
Cole,
Yeah, this is a famous dude. He's a celebrity. So they're having he and one of his producers, the producer's wife, are all having dinner at a restaurant, and this is just this very publicized celebrity sort of event. Like everyone's coming over to say hi, how's it going? There's other celebrities, and everyone knows Sam Cooke was at the restaurant.
Okay.
And on this night, he catches the eye, or maybe she caught his eye, but there was a young woman at the bar, went by the name of Eliza Boyer.
Okay.
She was 22-year-old Asian woman, and they hit it off, and they decided that several people saw them leave together. They were going to go to another place and get the drink. So they went to two other places around downtown Hollywood. And the end of the night, Sam is driving this woman to a hotel. And he, around about midnight, pulls into the hotel parking lot, and he gets out of the car, leaves the woman in the car. She's there. He walks in to check in. He is told that he has to check it. He checks in initially under his full normal name, Sam Cooke.
Right.
Is told by the clerk that in order to bring this woman in, because it's the 60s, they have to check in as Mr. and Mrs. Sam Cooke.
Okay.
So he registers. The woman's in the car. He gets back in the car. They go to their hotel. A few hours later, she is seen screaming, running, mostly naked from the hotel room, clutching her clothes, or clutching a pile of clothes. And Sam Cooke is dead in the hotel lobby.
What?
Damn.
In the lobby?
In the lobby. The clerk of the hotel basically told police that she got into a scuffle with Mr. Cooke. He came into the lobby. He was very irate. He demanded to know where the woman was. And he then got into a tussle with the hotel clerk, who happened to be armed. She had a pistol, and she shot him twice, and one of them actually piercing his lung, and his last words being, "Lady, you shot me," which are some famous, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the famous last words, "Lady, you shot me," but that was Sam Cooke.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Lady, you shot me.
Yeah.
There's that like soul song, "Lady, you shot me."
No, so, okay, bring it. Come on.
No, I want to hear another verse. Like that.
Come on. Bring it. Bring it now, Kaz. Damn it.
So he dies right there.
So he dies in the hotel room.
Wow.
In the hotel lobby. In the lobby. So the police show up, and the police instantly recognize who this is, a famous recording artist. This is not just some crazed guy who tried to hold up a hotel lobby or something like that.
Was he fully clothed?
No, he was naked. And Sam Cooke was in his underwear.
All right.
Draws.
It's a big
drops.
difference. Big difference.
So he
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The police take the statement from Eliza Boyer. They take the statement from the hotel clerk, and they seem to match up. Eliza says he was drunk. It was clear that he was going to rape me. He made me get undressed, and then he started to grope me, and I managed to get away. And she had his clothes as well, which is an interesting sort of twist that we'll get into. But she didn't just escape with her own clothes. She says in her panic, she grabbed a bunch of clothes and ran out, and some of them were his as well. The hotel clerk also sort of corroborated the story. She heard a scuffle. She saw the woman running, and then she had this interaction with Sam Cooke where he attacked her, and then she shot him in self-defense. The interesting thing about this that sort of started to cast some, I guess, maybe dispersions on the accounts of the hotel clerk and the woman is Eliza Boyer was arrested maybe a few weeks later for prostitution. She's a prostitute. And not that you
I assumed she was a prostitute.
corroborate her story, but yeah, this is it wasn't the way that she initially put the story forth. According to her testimony, she was just a woman hanging out at a bar.
She withheld a bunch of stuff.
Correct. She wasn't fully sort of forthcoming with the police about this. And in addition to that, the hotel clerk, there was sort of signs that maybe her story was maybe not fabricated, but maybe embellished slightly. She talked about how he slammed her, he was on top of her, and there were no really indications of that kind of scuffle. She didn't really have the injuries to support that kind of that kind of story. So as the police started to investigate a little bit more, it almost looks like a setup. It looks like this man was about to be robbed, and he got hip immediately, realized he was being robbed, ran out to go chase his robber. And maybe so the whole thing is the death is sort of shrouded in mystery, right? Like no one knows what happened. He's shot. He's dead. And then the cops show up and say, "Okay, what happened?" And then these two people give their statements. The story is he ran out aggressively, quote unquote, aggressively pounding on the window and the door, demanding to be let into the hotel lobbies of the middle of the night or early morning.
So was this a motel? So their
Correct.
room was outside of the lobby.
Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, this was he took her to a motel, right?
All
This is as you would.
Nice
The 60s.
delineating
it's
the
good.
difference between a hotel and a motel, because there is a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, Eliza's testimony or her statement to police is kind of shady. She says the whole night she knows she's in danger. Basically, she says he abducted her from the first restaurant. She doesn't mention that they went to two other places afterwards to get drinks.
Well, if he was out of his mind with alcohol and he was super drunk, that is dangerous. She probably felt like she was in danger. If he's just cruising down the interstate in his car with her, just kind of like as a passenger, then that's abduction. It's like what else could it be besides just crazy?
What do you mean out of your mind with alcohol? I've never heard of those terms. What do
the
you mean?
woman, she had some inconsistencies in her statement with the police. She didn't tell them about the other places that she and Sam went to that night, which were two other places. From my perspective, if this is a person who, and again, I've never been abducted, so I can't tell you for sure, but if this is, if you're being brought to multiple different locations in public, like it's probably it's difficult to kind of conceal that you're like holding this person hostage by bringing them around to get like different drinks and things like that. Maybe that's not the case, but
what I find so fascinating is that Sam Cooke was a very popular, highly regarded musician back then, but he sounds like a monster if he really did kidnap this person and was completely out of his mind drunk driving around to different locations.
Right. You're touching on like the core sort of inconsistency is this is Sam Cooke, right? Like, and again, this is, you could get into an argument where maybe it's a power thing or whatever, but Sam Cooke isn't going out and he's a famous, musician, and this is in a public place. He picked up a woman who he thought was going to be his companion for the night. And again, Sam Cooke is like I don't want to say notorious ladies man, but he's a ladies man. He's a man about town. Like he's
an R&B singer.
He's an R&B singer in the 60s.
That's basically,
right.
They just make panties fly out.
Exactly.
Just drop, fly.
The story of the clerk seeing the woman sitting in the passenger seat of the car after Sam Cooke got up, left the car, went in to go register. This woman sits there and waits to be brought to the hotel afterwards. At some point,
like a well-behaved hostage.
Right. At some point, she decides that she's had enough.
Nice. It's always nice when they just chill out,
Right.
You may get out of here alive, just
But if she was picked up as a friend of the night, right?
Friend of the night.
friends of the night.
And she saw maybe in his wallet, let's say he's like, here you go, here's this amount of money. So she's like, okay, and then maybe she saw that would also corroborate the whole robbing story.
Well, again,
how much money did she have on her?
Sam Cooke brought her to a motel. Right. In, what is it? The Hacienda Motel, which is, they do hourly rates at this place. This is not like a nice...
Gotcha, right.
Yeah,
this is not like a nice place.
$900 an hour.
This is actually...
What hotels
1960.
are you going to?
Sam Cooke hotels.
What do they do to you there? You come in, you walk out, you're a year younger.
But I make sure to get a shrimp cocktail while I'm there.
Are you kidding?
Room
I'm getting
service.
all the shrimp.
Yeah, they'll give you at least two.
I'm going to eat it like a baleen whale.
So yeah, it was 64. So it was $3 per hour for the night.
That's good, right?
They did find that, again, her story was that she collected a bunch of clothes and ran out, but she also somehow managed to collect Mr. Cooke's cards and money clips.
Right. Just by accident.
It could have been an accident.
So the sort of I guess Occam's razor version of this is people think that this is she was a friend of the night.
Mm-hmm. Friend of the night.
She was a friend of the night.
IP throwback.
TM.
And incidentally, who Mandetti's band will be opening for in Tampa.
Hopefully Tampa.
Friend of the night.
Maybe something in DeBerry with Friend of the Night. That sounds like more of a DeBerry gig.
It's such a DeBerry gig.
So it just says DeBerry.
Hey, nothing. DeBerry listeners, nothing against you guys. We love you. Like, if you want to call in.
Well, we haven't seen stats yet for DeBerry, so if you're DeBerry, call us at 570-478-3789.
There's nothing funny about DeBerry.
There is nothing funny about DeBerry. It's a very serious town. They do a lot of good work.
All right, guys. Now we're getting texts in from the texting service. A lot of DeBerry fans.
Oh, represent.
Hey, represent. So yeah, it's to me it was a very confusing, sort of convoluted thing. Obviously, some shady stuff went down that night, right? Like we got Sam Cooke picking up an Asian hooker, and then he is shot in a hotel lobby in like a seedy motel downtown.
I have a feeling
LA.
that's happened. Those two things. That's not the first time those two things have happened.
Maybe it's just the most high.
Hooker, Asian or otherwise, shot in hotel.
You have no proof of that. What a sad, though, and ultimately disappointing way for Sam Cooke's chapter to end.
Absolutely. I mean,
and what a sad final chapter.
Right. I mean, the guy was, extremely famous during his time, which is kind of unheard of for, R&B singers. It's one of those, you rediscover them later. Like, he was enjoying his fame in the 60s, and it was a sad way for him to go, for sure.
He had one story where it was him and his brother, and they were on their way to the record studio, and they passed this chain gang, and they actually stopped and asked, would it be okay if we bring these men something? And the warden recognized him but didn't say anything, and goes, I suppose these men might want that. They went to the nearest exit, got cigarettes and Coca-Colas.
Wow.
And they came back.
Here's some poison.
Yeah, they were like, would you mind? Would you mind if these men stopped? And the warden was like, I don't think they would mind that at all, Mr. Cooke. And then he spent like 20 minutes just like, here you go, everyone.
Shooting the shit with the chain gang? That's awesome.
Talk to me. And like a couple months later, they came up with the idea of
that's
the sound of
the man working on the chain
gang.
No shit.